Before we start this episode proper, I just wanted to show this off. First of all, we're in the new HD remastered version of Resident Evil, just to show this off, because it's the version I happen to be playing. Somebody mentioned that there is a red herb that I missed, and this is very important. I had no idea this existed. I've been playing this game for over 10 years, and I didn't know about this. After you save the dog right behind the Pueblo sign, there's the first official red herb you can get in the game. That's an amazing advantage to have this early on. So thanks for showing that to me.
Hunnigan, I have some bad news. I've confirmed the body of an officer. Something's happened to the people here.
Leon, you need to get out of there. Look for a tower and follow the trail near it.
Got it.
That was one hell of an opening to this game. What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel! Welcome back to Resident Evil 4. Oh, we got some cleanup to do. There's a lot of stuff to explore in this village. I just thought I'd show this off, like this extra handgun ammo that's just sitting back here just in case you get stuck. Since we have so much to pick up, there's an entire half of the village I didn't even search. I just want to explain a couple things. First of all, I didn't want to show any, after-fight stuff until the next episode, because I knew we'd be going around collecting things like the introduction of the yellow herb, I'll explain what that does later, and another red herb over here. But, I want to talk about the village fight, specifically the Chainsaw Man. Dr. Salvador! The one you see over here right at the very beginning, the one that I ran from, not the one in the house. There was actually a way to fight two of these chainsaw men at the beginning of the game. And don't mind all the extra ammo and grenades. This is actually from one of my really old PS2 saves where I just continuously run this game. If you defeat him, you get a ruby. Now, if you go into the house right after beating him, and you're going to want to try to minimize the amount of casualties you get on the ganados that you're fighting during the regular village opening. Because if you kill too many of them, you'll be locked out of killing the first Salvador. But if you come into the house, you can fight a second one. And this is pretty complicated. I would say wait until your second playthrough when you have a lot more beefier weapons. But I just happened to have a save file to show off a really beefed up handgun that I had. And that's how you get a lot of extra cash in the opening village scene. You get to kill two chainsaw men for the price of one village attack. There we go. I went ahead and went into the house with the shotgun. You didn't really miss much. I just wanted to check and make sure I didn't miss anything. Ha! You forget your makeup or something? Yeah, if only he had come with us, he wouldn't be burning at the stake right now. Over in this house. This is another introductory point. You really didn't want to come in this house because of this. A lock on the door. Now, there's a few ways you can knock locks off doors. You can use your knife, you can shoot it. I think it takes a couple bullets to knock it off if you shoot it. But if you actually kick the door 3 times, the lock will actually come off. Now, if you were running away from Mr. Chainsaw Man and you happened onto that lock, it's really harrowing if you're doing this part of the fight and all of a sudden you got some guy revving a chainsaw behind you and you need to take off a lock. I really like all the small touches that can either make this fight harder or make it as easy as possible. Like, for example, we didn't even go up in this tower, and you can. But you don't want to do it during the regular village fight, because they have a surprise for you. The only time that this happens in the game, if you are up here, the villagers will not follow you up the ladder, but instead they have a different surprise. They throw Molotov cocktails! They have one hell of an arm if they can throw them all the way up to the top of this watchtower. But yeah, the only thing you want to come up here for is the shotgun shells. As soon as you grab them, jump down the ladder because you don't want to be caught in the middle of all this fire. Yeah, it's a bad time if you have to run away from Molotov cocktails. So grab the ammo and leave. And that's about... I believe that's all I've missed. I just wanted to get all the ammo, and now we can actually make our way towards where we need to end up. Let's take a look at the map here. And I barely look at the map in this game, just because back in the day I kept forgetting the map existed, so I just figured it out on my own. They give you a big bright light on where to go, and take a look at this map. This is huge. I mean, it's nothing nowadays, because every game has to be huge and expansive, but back when Resident Evil 4 first came out, you take a look at that map and you're going, wow, I can go to all those places? Almost. You can go to a lot of those places, just not exactly yet. Hunnigan gives you special places to go, certain locations you need to go to advance the story or whatnot. And now we need to head towards this door, but first, a little bit of light reading. There's an alert order. They know we're here, and that's not good. I believe they've surmised that we are after Ashley because they can tell we're American. So they figure one American is going to try to save the other one. And that's interesting. The message actually says, how did they find out about us? And it's signed by the chief, Torres Mendez. Ooh, we might have to deal with the chief at one point. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and head to where we need to be. After a bit of loading, of course. There we go. Ooh. I spy blue out there. There's a dumpster. Maybe we can put Resident Evil 6 in there. I guess we can show this one off. The red herbs and yellow herbs. Mixing green with a red gives you a full heal, no matter how much health you're at. But right here, the most important one, the yellow herb. Mixing it with a green can get you a health extension. But the thing is, you can also mix it with a red and make a full heal plus a health extension. So Resident Evil 4 introducing the ability to increase your overall health was brilliant. Because now you're always looking out for those yellow herbs, and now you need to think, well, do I want to do a green and a red because I really need it right now, I'm really hurting on health, or do you want to save it to get a full heal and a health extension? What I like to do, if I'm starting a new game, is always go for the full heal and health extension. Get a green, a red, and a yellow. That way, when I'm really hurting, I can get more health than usual. And look at this! The typewriter! An old Resident Evil staple, it comes back, but you don't need ink ribbons. I'd say that's another point in Resident Evil 4's court. No longer do you need to find ink ribbons, otherwise this game would be nearly impossible, I think. Because you would have to, put it in your inventory, and then it would just be a whole big thing, and nobody wants to do that. So thank you, Capcom, for that brilliant decision. Now, this right here. There is the ability to get one of two different treasures here. We're actually not going to get the other one because it sucks. But, yeah. Go ahead and knock down the piece of wood there and knock it down and you get the pendant. Now, had you shot the pendant first and then shot the wood, you would have had to open the door and you get a dirty pendant. A dirty pendant is not worth a lot of money, so you want to go for the clean one. And speaking of which, we haven't had the ability to use anything or sell anything yet. Don't worry, it's coming up. But first we need to deal with a couple random villagers. Now, kind of funny, you see those glowing green items off there in the background. These are chicken eggs. And we actually got a gold chicken egg. No way! There are 3 types of chicken eggs, the white, the brown, and the gold. Gold is a full heal. Brown is the equivalent of 2 greens, I believe. 2 greens put together, which is a nice amount of health you get back. And white is the equivalent of a green herb, I think. I believe that's how it all comes together. But you want to save your gold chicken eggs, because you can actually sell those for a decent amount of cash. More than you'd expect for an egg. One thing I do like about the world of Resident Evil 4, if you want to call it that, is all these special details that they've got going on. The fact that they are showing off how disgusting this place is, how unkempt it is. Seeing all the maggot-infested pools and all the disgusting corpses in wagons. It's all just overly disgusting, and it fits in the horror setting. Now, this is the first thing that caught my eye. Yeah, the blue medallions. 7 in the farm, 8 in the cemetery. If you destroy 10 or more, you get an award. Okay, well, go ahead and give it a shot. Ha! There we go, 1 of 15. I don't think I've ever seen a Resident Evil game do this again, where you have a side quest in Resident Evil. Yeah, you don't get too many of those, but we need to shoot down all of these blue medallions. Don't worry, I'll be showing them all off as soon as we get rid of distractions like this guy. Sorry, man, you got in the way of my medallion hunting. Let's see. Oh, funny thing I just remembered about the chicken eggs is, because of the HD and HD remastered versions being bumped up to 60 frames per second, sorry, just the remastered version being bumped up, chickens lay eggs twice as fast. So if you wait there long enough, you can get tons of gold chicken eggs, and you can have a fun run with those. I think I've actually done a run back in the past where it was, I think it was the strongest Magnum and nothing but gold chicken eggs with the stipulation I put on myself. And that's another fun thing I like about 4, is there are so many different stipulations you can give yourself to make your playthrough as hard or as easy as possible. It's so much fun. Now, this right here, this little strip of gate is very infamous in one version and one version only because they fixed it in the later ones. Let's take a look at the GameCube version. See, you can do this normally. That's regular. But if you come over here right to the very end, oh, inch just a bit closer, right? Oh, hold on, I need to be a little closer. No, back up just a little bit. There it is. You can clip through the you can clip through the floor, and subsequently the wall and everything else. We are out of bounds right now. Again, this was fixed in all other versions of Resident Evil, but look what I'm doing. Developers don't want me back here. I could just imagine doing this in the remastered version, just clipping out of bounds and looking at all this. This is actually very interesting to look at, seeing how the fog in the background is its own texture. All the trees are their own, like, special texture and walling. All the background ground. And this goes on for a long time, too. If you run all the way back here until you reach an invisible wall, there is a lot of background for an area that you wouldn't have to go to. And this leads me to believe that they wanted to expand and make these levels ginormous, but there really isn't much that you get to play at, so I don't know if they just wanted to do it for looks, just so you wouldn't see through all the cracks. But right there, you see that in the ground? That is an ultra item. If I could actually pick it up, it's kind of finicky sometimes, you can get one of every ammo and one of every herb, and don't do this, by the way. I accidentally got caught here, so I'm stuck. I can't get out. Yeah, just be careful if you ever want to clip out of bounds in the GameCube version, but don't worry, just a simple retry and you can get back on track. Excuse me, I was explaining something. There we go. Oh, saw another medallion. Let's go ahead and take care of this guy, and then we'll do it up here. There it is. 4. Need 3 more, and then we're all the way done. There's another one. I really do wish Resident Evil had a few more extra challenges that you could do. Resident Evil 7 with the Mr. Everywheres is a good example. Actually, 5 and 6. Yeah, I'm actually going to compliment 6. Having the snake emblems, something that you can go out of your way to find. I love that. I love finding collectibles in games like this. But, you know, Resident Evil 6 isn't fun, so, you know, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, there's just a few more things we need to get, and actually, let's jump down here. This is a little walled-off area. We can't get here normally. But right in here is our example of a bigger treasure. The beer stein. If we actually go into our treasures menu, you can see those spinels that we got earlier. Those are just little gems that we can sell. The pearl pendant looks valuable. But right here, the beer stein has 3 recessions. This is an example of combining treasures to sell for more money. So be on the lookout for smaller gems that might be able to fit in the beer stein, and then we can combine them and sell it for more money. That's another thing I like about this game is the first treasure you might find, you'd be like, oh, sweet, I need the money. But a little bit of a smarter player of Resident Evil 4 would be like, hey, wait a minute, I examined this. There's divots in here. Maybe I can oh, I can, and I can get a lot more cash for this. Is there a guy down here? No, there isn't. I thought I heard something. Oh, and by the way, as soon as you picked up that note, the submission actually shows up on your map now, so you know where all the emblems are. The last one is right there. That's all 7. So we need another 8 that they said is around the church. Can't go this way. Maybe help with another person. That's another wink, wink, nudge, nudge from Capcom saying, hey, you might get a second person. And, of course, everybody starts groaning because that means escort missions. But we won't deal with that for now. I've actually managed to find everything, at least to my knowledge. And that's another thing. This game has been going on for forever. There are so many versions of Resident Evil 4 that can make your head spin. But the thing is, there's always something new to learn. And that's what that part at the beginning of this episode was. I had no idea that existed until I started doing this Let's Play. 2 episodes in and I've already learned something new. That's what I love about games like this, that have stood the test of time. There's always something to learn. And now, let's see if Leon has stretched and gotten ready to do some running. This doesn't look good. Huh. Doesn't look like there's much of anything here. Alright, fine. Wag for your life, Leon! Wag on that Wiimote! Sprint! Oh, and don't stop because it's gonna get faster. Now, I know we haven't had to do too many of these, but QuickTime events. This was back in the age when QuickTime events were all the rage. God of War, this game in particular. QuickTime events will be showing up a lot in this action horror game. Be ready for them. Different versions have different button combinations. I believe every version has its own version of A and B. I think on an Xbox it's A and X. So it's always going to be the two closest face buttons to one another, A and B on the Wiimote there. And that guy has a surprise. I want that. I want that. Come on. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, well, alright. So now they're throwing dynamite, which isn't good, but if you shoot the dynamite in their hands because they love to hold it up for all to see, it's like, look at what I got! You can actually shoot dynamite that's in Ganato's hands and blow them up. Unfortunately, when they see you, they will not stop throwing dynamite, so be careful. And that's kind of one of the bad things about dynamite, besides, you know, the whole blowing up thing. If they actually blow it up close enough to you, you can actually go into a stun animation. Where did that come from? Oh, it's that guy! I could have sworn I killed him. Oh, well. So there's a guy. Uh-oh, that's not good. Alright, so it basically has to be right on you to actually blow you up. And would you stop that? Alright, I'm trying to blow it up in his hands. It's not working. Let's go ahead and try one more thing. You can actually get in here through this. Oh, and be careful, there are bear traps around here. I know I haven't showed those off a lot, but there are bear traps around here. Specifically made... Oh, that was kind of cool. Specifically made to where you will get caught in a bear trap and then hit with dynamite. It is a diabolical setup that these guys have here. And I guess I never explained what I've been calling them. They're known as the Ganados. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because I don't know a lot of Spanish. I was a French guy, sorry. So I might be pronouncing it wrong, but yeah, these enemies are called the Ganados. Now, there was a tripwire in here, I think? But I believe it blew up along with the first dynamite that was thrown. But there's a bear trap in here. If you would have gotten caught in this, you would have been hit by that other guy. Either that or the tripwire. So just be very careful. Let's see, there's one more thing. Is it? It's this, right? I believe it's this. Always checking trees, by the way. Yes, the red cat's eye. You notice the shape? You notice how it might fit into something else? We'll think about that just a bit later. Just keep that in your mind. Alright. Believe we've searched every nook and cranny around here. Let's check inside this house. Should be a fun time. Oh, sorry. It was 4 times. There you go. On the 4th kick, the lock just magically breaks. Apparently everything is rusted out in this part of Europe. A little bit of money here for your troubles. And, wow, this is a really dusty old house. Just in case you want to save, there's a typewriter. Oh, and I love this. Tripwire. Look for your reticle to turn red. And, by the way, there's another one in there. So if you ever want to know if something is dangerous or you can't see just right, point your reticle. If you're playing any other version of Resident Evil 4, your little laser pointer, the dot, will show up on something foreign, something that looks shootable. And the Wii version, again, I say it's easy mode. A lot of people complain about that, but your reticle going from green to red does really help when fighting foreign things. There's something going on over here. I don't know if I like it. Leon, should we actually open this thing? We're either going to go to Narnia or something's going to kill me, so let's go.
Little rough, don't you think? You're not like them?
No. You?
Okay, I have only one very important question. You got a smoke?
Got gum.
Perfect. The big cheese.
What?
And so Leon and his new Spanish friend were knocked out by being thrown into a cabinet. Next time on Resident Evil 4, it's time for Chapter 1-2. Let's see what happened to Leon. See you guys next time.